Hey guys, so Tom Hunt here, and I wanted to record a quick video on a more holistic overview, a very high level view of the kind of the business journey. I got a little the business journey for the typical e-commerce kind of startup that we're seeing at the moment versus that of the e-commerce brand builder. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm just going to run through two quick slides where I'm going to highlight what we see are the differences and what essentially you can do to shift your e-commerce brand over to the new way, which is ultimately going to build a more sustainable and profitable business and brand. So I'm just going to start presenting now. So essentially, I'm just going to run through two slides. The first of which is what we're calling the typical e-commerce business journey. And so this is what is taught. I hate to talk down other people and their methods, but this is traditionally what is taught in most e-commerce drop shipping classes. And it's quite a good method because you can make relatively large short-term profits, but ultimately you're not building a sustainable asset. And so here's the typical journey. So we're starting off with a non-branded average product, normally drop shipped from AliExpress or Alibaba. So what we have here is the new hot gizmo that may have a couple of months lifetime, isn't branded by that store, creates no emotional connection with that customer, and yes, can make those short-term profits, but ultimately you're not building a sustainable business or an asset that you can actually sell in the future. So once we have the average product, we spend a lot of money on ads. I'm really highlighting the worst case. So I doubt anyone here is actually, as I don't want to say as bad as this, but as extreme as this, but I'm really highlighting the worst case scenario just to really make a point. So the typical e-commerce business journey is we get this average product, actually dropshipped from AliExpress, not Alibaba, whatever. Spend loads of cash on ads, on paid marketing, normally not with the best targeting, and we're not making any emotional connection with the advertising. We're simply showing a product demonstration video or a product demonstration image. And then we're probably using some questionable urgency, scarcity methods on the product page to get that conversion rate to where it needs to be profitable on that first sale. We're going to have a low conversion rate, normally below 1%, due to the lower quality in traffic and the lack of emotional or compelling emotional reason for the customer to take action. Normally just relying on sort of logical and intellectual methods to try and get this person to buy, normally with just that product demonstration video. The product arrives to the customer normally pretty late, after maybe 22 days. That's using ePacket from AliExpress. Customer is somewhat disappointed. There's no brand there for the customer to connect with, and the customer will reach out to the customer service department and never get a response. Again, it might not be that bad, but maybe a customer will reach out and they'd get a response in 1 to 2 days, and they don't feel like they're really valued by the brand. And then ultimately, we're going to go out of business Facebook ads. Will get too expensive, increasing acquisition cost. The lifetime value is no greater than the average order value because people are not coming back. So yes, we might be getting profitable on that first sale, but then over time, as maybe the product decreases, the product life cycle decreases, the product gets less popular, and as Facebook or Instagram ads get more expensive, or other people start advertising that product, because you have no differentiation, that acquisition cost goes up. And we don't have anything set up on the back end to sell these people more because they have no connection with that customer. So that's a typical e-commerce business journey, and probably no one in here is really as bad as that. That's really like the worst case scenario, but I just wanted to highlight that to show the difference between the two methods. Now let's quickly look at what we believe to be the future of e-commerce. So a slightly different customer journey here. Brand a product that actually adds value. So finding a group of people that we call it your perfect customer, and then get really passionate about actually improving the lives of these people with a physical product. Again, go to the same advertising source. We'll start off with Facebook and Instagram for the case of this video. but then we create an emotional connection. The brand has a reason for existing over than just making cash. And we target a very specific person with an emotional advert. So we're communicating to the person the reason why the brand exists. Normally in a video where we can tell the story of the brand or tell the story of a customer of that brand, to really create this emotional connection with a very specific type of person. We'll then see higher than average conversion rates. Stitch Leggings, since we started running that brand properly in August, has converted at 2.11%. The average in the apparel industry, according to Shopify, is 1.71%. And because there's that emotional, compelling reason from the advert, we continue that obviously on the product page. We don't need any fake scarcity or countdown timers in order to get that conversion rate up. But the core part, or really the core difference, is that past that first transaction, the experience, every touch point we have with that customer is congruent with the brand. It educates them about the brand and about the mission that the brand is on. That customer continues to invest. Now, we have, we think the average amount of leggings that a person has that engages with Stitch Leggings is above 2.1. And we see that, I think in 2018, the amount, well, actually a better stat is from October. I think it was 40% of all of the orders we had were from people that had already bought. So we're having people come in, reading the emails, joining the community, engaging with the brand, and continuing to buy other products. And that's the real crucial distinction between e-commerce brand builders and the old method, is that if we can get customers to come back and buy again, then the acquisition cost for them to return is near zero, and that's where we're actually going to make the money. It means that we can actually not make money on that first sale because we know X amount of people are going to come back based on the data that we've been building. Not only that, we also leverage that customer in other ways to influence other people to buy. E.g., we get them to produce content and share on their social media channels. We get them to engage in our further content, further promotions, and further giveaways in the future. And then finally, the business will grow exponentially as we learn more about this perfect customer, we target more effectively, LTV continues to increase as we generate more customers and we improve promotions on the back end to get them to come back. And then average order value and LTV is actually going to increase as we survey those customers to learn exactly what they like about the products and what they potentially like about new products. So we can then bring out new products that are aligned with the same mission and therefore are going to be snapped up by the messenger list, by the email list, by the Instagram followers. And so this loop is why I've drawn this in a kind of looping fashion, is because this sort of a life cycle of the business will continue. It's almost like a flywheel, will continue and gather more and more momentum over time in a much more efficient way than the typical e-commerce business journey. We're actually not really having much of a flywheel here at all. So I know it's a short lesson, and I guess it's not too actionable, but I wanted to just share what we believe to be the real difference between kind of the new way of doing e-commerce and the old way. And as a final point, this is actually how we end up winning against Amazon, is because we can create that direct relationship with the customer and help them or fulfill their emotional needs with respect to one aspect of their life. And so I think a lot of you know that with the leggings brand, it's all about enabling men to wear what they want as opposed to what they should. And there's a very, very passionate subsection of men that really, really believe in this brand and in that mission. And so we're really supporting them to drive forward that mission that we have of the brand. And they really, really like it. I put screenshots of the Stitch Style Club in this group before, showing how on a daily basis we have people sharing photos of themselves in the leggings, talking about the brand, talking about how they can push our mission forward for us. And that is that's what you experience when you try, like, use this method to approach e-commerce. So I hope that helps in some way. I hope that gives some perspective on what we believe to be the future of e-commerce brand building. Any questions, just drop them below in the comments. Thank you so much for watching.